Hi, and welcome back to Random Access. I'm your host, as always, John, and on tonight's show we have the CEO of the Better Business Bureau, Steve McFarland. Thanks for being on the show tonight, Steve.
Great to be here. It's a huge opportunity for us at the BBB.
Awesome. Steve, now, just for all of our viewers who are maybe unfamiliar, can you tell us a little bit about the Better Business Bureau? Yeah,
the BBB was started in 1912 as an ad review type agency. A lot of charlatans at that time broadcasting false claims and selling wares and so on that didn't work. So the BBB began as a entity to clean up advertising and make it more truthful. It's since evolved now into 109 offices across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And we're a nonprofit agency. So we have dedicated groups. I know my staff is just awesome, and we're just really happy to be able to serve our community in California.
That's great. Now I know you guys' motto, it's start with trust.
Right.
I love that. How long have you been involved with the BBB now?
Well, I was on the board for the BBB 19 years, and then after moving from the area of accounting and tax and consulting for some global projects. I've been with the BBB now as a CEO for about 2.5 years.
Wow, that's great. How have you seen the Better Business Bureau? Just kind of how you were talking about with local businesses and how business these days has really changed. How do you think the Better Business Bureau has kind of kept up with that? Maybe kind of evolved a little bit.
Yeah, over time we've had to evolve with the technology. Most lately, the internet. The internet has changed commerce tremendously. Our vision, by the way, at the BBB is an ethical marketplace. Right. And our mission is to promote ethics and trust. Well, with the internet, we see a lot of different companies, one-man shows. You could work at your kitchen table, for example, and sell globally. So our mission has changed. We have multiple products. We offer information to consumers for free that allow them to make better purchases from credible dealers, from credible retailers. And we also provide advice and tools for businesses to be able to operate better in commerce, to be able to serve the community better.
That's awesome. So you said you've been involved there for 2.5 years, as CEO at least? As
CEO, 2.5 years. I'm on my 24th year now.
Wow, that's great. How did you kind of come into that?
Well,
position?
Beginning out of college, after my MBA, I did fraud work as a PI, as a certified fraud examiner and internal auditor, and saw a variety of different cases. Fraud cases, construction fraud, financial fraud, embezzlement, money laundering, and I've always been interested in looking out for consumers with some fantastic cases. So the BBB was an area that I felt I could contribute back to the community by offering my services and to be able to facilitate trust in commerce. And over the last 2 decades that I've been with the BBB, we've had some terrific cases, and we've saved consumers a lot of grief and have educated a lot of businesses. I might add that our office, our terrific staff, it's incredible what they do. They handle 350 cases on average every day. Wow. So it's about 68,000 cases a year from our nonprofit team based in Silicon Valley and Los Angeles.
That's awesome. How do you guys go about kind of staying, with 350 cases a day, you guys have a lot to keep up with. Right. How do you guys stay involved so consistently?
Well, thank heavens for software.
Yeah.
And consumers can file complaints on companies via a PC. You can file a complaint on your iPad, your iPhone or Droid. So technology has changed a lot of that, but also the software has allowed us to categorize and process and be able to refer complaints and language to these companies to facilitate their responses back to the consumers. And I'm happy to say that for free, the BBB will handle cases and complaints, and we typically resolve anywhere from 70 to 80% of these cases. So the business will respond back to the consumer, and hopefully they can get the issue resolved. And we also offer services like Autoline, which is equivalent to a lemon law type process, but it's free for the consumer.
awesome.
And we offer advice to the military personnel on helping them be better consumers. And we also have the Wise Giving Alliance, to where you can check companies before you donate. A lot of different services, all for free to the community.
That's great. That's awesome. Now, where do you guys kind of see yourselves going maybe in the next 10 years then, as you guys have been growing and consistently kept so busy?
Right, and technology has changed many different things. We're a global, pretty much a global economy, looking at consumers buying goods everywhere. Just last week we did a story on consumers buying goods in China, for example, and not having any recourse. There's not a BBB in China. So you spend money, they require that you spend money on a card, say a green card or whatever, a green dot card, and you would buy, say, a dress or an outfit, the wrong colors, wrong size, whatever. What do you do? Yeah. Well, the amount of money to ship it back to China would exceed the cost of the apparel. So it's those kind of things, I think, where we're going to be. We're going to have to be more involved in purchases of a global nature. We're going to have to increase our technology to be able to handle all this commerce. But never will it change that we don't stand for trust and ethics in commerce. So those things will always be the same. We're going to be steadfast in our ability to be able to offer information to businesses to promote trust and do what they say and live up to their promises. But on the other side of the coin, consumers have so much information these days. Yeah. They have so much information that's available to them. Use it. Yeah. So they almost have an obligation to go to bbb.org and look at information for free and check out that roofer, that plumber, that dentist, and before you make a purchase. And please, businesses, do what you say. Yeah. Do what you promise.
I love how it's all across the board. It's not just big wigs. It's everything. It's all levels of businesses.
Right.
For smaller businesses or anybody really kind of looking to become involved with you guys as a way of kind of showing that they can be trusted. What does that process kind of look like for you guys?
A way that consumers look for credibility these days. The money that you earn is tough. There's a lot of competition for your dollars. And especially during the period from 2008, 2012, when the economy wasn't so good. In fact, we're still working on it. Every dollar that you spent should be spent wisely. So research, investigate. So the BBB provides an avenue for you to do that. So we feel that we offer an excellent service for consumers that are looking for every penny, but we're also looking for businesses that want to set themselves apart. Right. With that BBB seal on your website, on your business card, on your advertisement, it allows the community to see that you're a credible business. Yeah. Will it make a guarantee for you as a consumer to be able to get exactly what you want every time? No. But you can be assured that that business is going to respond to you in an ethical manner to get any problem that you may have resolved.
That's awesome. Now, before we came on the show, we were talking a little bit, getting to know you more. You've had a very full background, I feel like, coming up to being the CEO now. Can you tell me a little bit more just about like your career path that led you to where you are now?
After grad school, I started off, doing mostly accounting work and so on. Even starting in high school, doing books and accounting and so on. But later working on bankruptcy fraud. That was my first issue, working for the trustee locally here in the western states, being assigned by a variety of judges to do backgrounds on bankruptcy fraud. These are companies that would take so many different people down the road and they would never get their money back. And so I would look for hidden assets, hidden funds, diversions, and so on. Later evolved into other fraud cases, and I worked on construction fraud, workers' compensation fraud, money laundering, embezzlement. Some very interesting cases that span the globe. I worked in Israel for 4 years, in Egypt, wow. UK, and some very, very interesting cases. But the lessons seem to be the same. There are brazen people. There are brazen people that want to take your money, and we're seeing that in so many different cyber-type fraud cases going on. Data ransom cases that are going on. So the lessons that we learned and that I've learned over the years are be prepared. Right. Be prepared for these. Do everything that you can as a business owner or consumer to watch out for your identity, to look out for your assets and for your employees' assets. Lately, we're seeing real estate agents, the dumpsters being skimmed for information. Included our leases, applications for loans, credit information. well, scammers know where to look. So be careful. Protect the information. There's a lot of scams going out there. We've seen Home Depot. We've seen, Ashley Madison lately. All these where information has been compromised. Be careful. Do the right things. It's common sense.
Yeah, I love how that said. Since your guys' motto start with trust, is it looking out for people.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And you were telling me that you're in the midst right now of writing a book.
Well, I've been trying to, my day's full. And we have, despite the fact that our staff is just fabulous, I can't say enough about them. I do write for a variety of different publications and speak on to schools and senior groups and so on. And I try to write some memoirs down on some cases that I've worked on. It'll take a while, but eventually I'll be able to get to the book as opposed to working on the publications, LA Times and business journals and a lot of different local papers and so on and radio, TV shows. One of these days it'll happen.
Yeah, one of these days you'll get that
one of these days when I have time.
When you find the time and you're sitting on a back porch sipping on some lemonade.
Yeah, like that's going to happen.
And, you'll find your time, I'm sure. For all of our folks at home, to get into the process of looking into the Better Business Bureau, just bbb.org, yeah?
It's easy. bbb.org on your mobile device, on your laptop, or whatever. You can check information. Before you get into a major purchase with that roofer, pool builder, even appliances, car dealers, credit repair companies, take a look on bbb.org. And check the information. And not just our site. There's many different sites that you can look. The difference from bbb.org to others are that we deal in facts. So if you do file a complaint, you had to be a bona fide consumer of that business as opposed to just posting an opinion. So it sets our site a little bit apart because the information is factual as opposed to just opinions. So it's a great way to start for consumers in no matter what you do. Investigate before you purchase.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Steve. It's been great having you on the show.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Just tune in next time to Random Access. Thanks.